Chapter 1: The Invitation. A peculiar invitation arrived in the mail for Mike, Adrian, and Jeff. It was handwritten on thick-edged parchment with a strange symbol drawn at the bottom. The invitation read, "You are cordially invited to a gathering of the extraordinary. Come, if you dare." The date and time was specified, and the location was a secluded cabin deep in the woods. Intrigued and a little frightened, the three friends decided to accept the invitation. They packed their bags and set off on the journey, their hearts pounding with anticipation and dread. Chapter 2: The Cabin. As they approached the cabin, a sense of unease washed over them. The cabin was old and dilapidated, with vines crawling up the walls and a broken window staring out at them. Despite their fear, they entered the cabin, their footsteps echoing in the empty space. Inside, the cabin was dimly lit by a single candle. Strange symbols were carved into the walls, and a peculiar scent hung in the air. They found a large, circular table in the center of the room with 3 chairs arranged around it. A single, ornate key lay on the table. Chapter 3: The Key. As they examined the key, a chill ran down their spines. It was unlike any key they had ever seen before, with intricate carvings and strange symbols etched into its surface. A sense of foreboding filled the room as they realized that the key was the only way to unlock the secrets of the cabin. With trembling hands, Mike took the key and inserted it into a lock hidden behind a loose panel on the wall. The lock clicked open, revealing a hidden door. Curiosity overcame their fear as they pushed the door open, revealing a dark and mysterious hallway. Chapter 4: The Underground. The hallway led to a steep staircase that descended deep into the earth. As they descended, the air grew colder and more damp. The walls were lined with strange symbols and ancient carvings, and the only sound was the dripping of water from the ceiling. At the bottom of the stairs, they found themselves in a vast underground chamber. The chamber was illuminated by a faint, ethereal glow that emanated from the walls. In the center of the chamber was a large, circular platform surrounded by strange, alien-looking machines. Chapter 5: The Machines. The machines were unlike anything they had ever seen before. They were sleek and metallic, with intricate gears and tubes. A sense of awe and fear filled them as they realized the immense power that these machines possessed. In the center of the platform was a large, glowing crystal. It pulsed with a strange energy, and a sense of danger radiated from it. As they approached the crystal, they felt a strange tingling sensation in their bodies. Chapter 6: The Crystal. As they touched the crystal, a wave of information flooded their minds. They saw visions of ancient civilizations, powerful beings, and terrifying creatures. They learned of the crystal's immense power and the danger it posed to the world. The crystal's power was so great that it could destroy or create entire worlds. It was a force of nature capable of both immense good and immense evil. The three friends realized that they were in the presence of something truly extraordinary and terrifying. Chapter 7: The Choice. The crystal seemed to sense their fear and confusion. It spoke to them in a voice that was both soothing and menacing, offering them a choice. They could use the crystal's power for good, to help humanity and protect the world. Or they could use it for evil, to satisfy their own desires and dominate others. The choice was theirs to make. But they knew that their decision would have far-reaching consequences. If they chose wrong, the world could be destroyed. If they chose right, they could become heroes. Chapter 8: The Betrayal. As the three friends pondered their decision, a sense of distrust began to grow between them. Each of them was tempted by the crystal's power, and each of them saw it as a way to achieve their own goals. Adrian, driven by ambition, decided to betray his friends. He seized the crystal and attempted to use its power for his own gain. But the crystal was not easily controlled. As Adrian tried to harness its power, it backfired, engulfing him in a blinding light. When the light faded, Adrian was gone, leaving only a charred and empty husk. Mike and Jeff were horrified by what had happened. They realized that the crystal was far more dangerous than they had ever imagined. Chapter 9, The Pact. Mike and Jeff were left alone in the underground chamber, facing the immense power of the crystal. They knew that they had to find a way to control it before it destroyed them or the world. After much deliberation, they decided to form a pact. They swore to use the crystal's power only for good, to protect humanity and the planet. They also agreed to work together to ensure that the crystal's power was never misused. With renewed determination, they approached the crystal once more. This time, they were prepared. They channeled their combined strength and willpower, and together, they managed to subdue the crystal. Chapter 10, The Guardian. The crystal calmed, its glow softening. It seemed to recognize their resolve, their commitment to using its power for good. A sense of peace washed over them as they realized that they had become its guardians. They left the underground chamber, carrying the crystal with them. As they ascended the stairs, they felt a weight lift from their shoulders. They had faced their fears, overcome adversity, and emerged victorious. They were now the protectors of the world, entrusted with the immense power of the crystal. Chapter 11, The Return. As they emerged from the cabin, the sun was setting, casting long shadows across the forest. They had spent countless hours underground, facing danger and uncertainty. But now, they were safe. They had survived the ordeal, and they had come out stronger for it. They returned to their normal lives, but they never forgot their experience. The crystal remained in their possession, a constant reminder of the power and responsibility that they had been entrusted with. They knew that they would always be vigilant, always ready to protect the world from harm. Chapter 12, The Temptation. Years passed. Mike and Jeff continued to guard the crystal, ensuring that its power was used for good. But as time went on, the temptation to use the crystal for personal gain grew stronger. They began to see the crystal as a tool, a means to an end. One day, a powerful enemy emerged, threatening to destroy the world. Mike and Jeff knew that they had to use the crystal to defeat this threat. But as they prepared to unleash the crystal's power, they hesitated. They realized that they had become too attached to the crystal, too dependent on its power. They knew that if they used the crystal to defeat their enemy, it would be a Pyrrhic victory. The crystal would become a symbol of their own power, and they would no longer be able to resist its temptation. Chapter 13, The Sacrifice. With a heavy heart, Mike and Jeff made a difficult decision. They would not use the crystal to defeat their enemy. Instead, they would sacrifice themselves, allowing the crystal to be destroyed. They approached the crystal, their eyes filled with tears. They placed their hands on the crystal, channeling their combined strength into it. The crystal began to glow brighter and brighter, until it reached a blinding intensity. A powerful explosion rocked the earth, and the crystal was destroyed. Mike and Jeff were consumed by the blast, their bodies vanishing into thin air. But their sacrifice was not in vain. The enemy was defeated, and the world was saved. The crystal's power was gone, but its legacy lived on. The memory of Mike and Jeff, the two friends who had sacrificed everything to protect the world, would be remembered for generations to come.